Memories.
Oh, for the laughter! Didn't think I'd be seeing Detective Black Swan so soon. What's that? You found out who the killer is?
Pretty much.
You live up to your reputation, Detective Black Swan. As smart as the nest of magpies roosting in the roof of my Uncle Frank's garage.
This guy is mixing up his birds here.
Then go ahead. Who is the killer, and what evidence do you have to prove the case?
In my opinion, there is no murderer for this case.
What do you mean by that?
Become part of the family. Raise a glass.
This tie is a piece of evidence, right?
That's right! That's the one! Miss Sparkle stole Lefton's tie to see if it would fit her. But who knew that Lefton had an anti-theft device installed on it? After Miss Sparkle affixed the tie to her neck, it rapidly contracted, thereby strangling the poor lady. She tried swallowing her ring to preserve her breathing passage, but unfortunately, she was beyond saving. What a tragedy! If it weren't for your incisive detective work, the three suspects would all be facing grave injustice.
Is something wrong here? This is too easy. The first case wasn't hard, but this one...
As you can imagine, the conclusions that the evidence points to are not mutually exclusive. Which means, this is probably another prank from Miss Sparkle. Mr. Assistant Detective, please feel free to point out a suspect as the murderer.
Ah, I see. Sheriff, the murderer is Lefton. The evidence is the tie, right?
Correct, Detective Sampo. I never thought you'd be able to deduce the truth.
Sheriff, the murderer is right. The evidence is the stool, right?
Yes! For the laughter, how did I fail to realize this formidable intellect of yours?
Then, right from the start, there was no murderer. The evidence is the ring. Whatever, I'm just spitballing here.
Goodness me! Deputy Sheriff, is he really a genius? How could such an unfathomable mystery be solved so easily by him?
Look, Miss Sparkle has given us a puzzle where every single answer is correct.
Why take it so seriously? Miss Sparkle is a masked fool, not a masked genius. If it's a challenging puzzle you want, please go out there and turn right until you get to the Intelligentsia Guild. We're only responsible for providing an entertaining detective experience. Anyway, since our genius detective Black Swan has cracked the case, I will now share Miss Sparkle's next puzzle with you.
So that's it? This is just going to go on and on forever? We can't do that.
Then I wish you both the best. Oh yes, if you're not in a hurry, I can tell you the answers for some of the outcomes you never chose. Detective Black Swan,
Why, I wouldn't miss it for the world, seeing as you put so much work into everything.
Lefton is a wealthy merchant who has been competing with Miss Sparkle for decades. They're always at each other's throats.
This tie is a piece of evidence.
That's right! This tie belongs to Lefton, and it just Lefton caught a trudge. This guy, Zhongshan, is a card shark who used to play Get the Koi with Miss Sparkle. He gambled away his entire family fortune.
This ring is a piece of evidence, right?
That's right! That's the one! What would a penniless wretch of a gambler like Zhongshan be doing at such a fancy fashion store as this? Because he was planning on robbing it! He'd stolen Lefton's tie and was just about to get away when he saw Miss Sparkle, the one who'd stolen his family fortune from him. So, he darted into the changing room and tried to get back his ring. Who could have known that Miss Sparkle would end up swallowing that ring? All Zhongshan could do was use the tie in his hand to try and strap down her neck to prevent her from swallowing the ring. But he unexpectedly managed to strangle Miss Sparkle to death. What a tragedy! If it weren't for your incisive detective work, the murderer would still be at large. Wright is a Pepeshi citizen, and Miss Sparkle was a low-key bigot, always laughing at his height.
Enjoy Clocky's pizza. Every bit of a clock is a tasty one.
This stool is a piece of evidence, right?
That's right! That's the one! Miss Sparkle always teased poor Wright until he was unable to take it any longer. Eventually, murderous intent was born. Taking advantage of his position, he stole Lefton's tie and told Miss Sparkle, "Miss, please come with me to the changing room." Miss Sparkle never thought Wright would retaliate against her, so she went back with him to the changing room. As Wright stood atop the stool and helped Miss Sparkle try on the tie as usual, he then suddenly pulled it tight. And that's how he killed Miss Sparkle. What a tragedy! If it weren't for your incisive... What do you mean by...
Nothing.
Don't go too far. What do you mean by that?
This tie is...
That's right! After Miss Sparkle... What a
I'd rather not play around.
Just as you said, solving puzzles is all just a cover for something else. That girl is toying with us. What should we do now? Just keep getting led around by her?
Truly, Miss Sparkle is a fascinating person. She seems chaotic inside, but easy enough to understand. Like a performer on the stage or a child hungering for attention. This game will be over soon. This time, we're going to catch her.
Miss Black Swan, Mr. Sampo, you're finally here! I am the famed detective of Penacony, and next to me here is my assistant detective. A murder in a locked room has left us all stumped.
As expected, another change in setting.
Yesterday, my assistant and I were visiting the famed artist Miss Sparkle, and we stayed the night. But this morning, Miss Sparkle didn't come out of her bedroom. The butler, Zhongshan, said that the door was locked from inside, so we ought not to have disturbed her. But Miss Sparkle had never slept in so late. And no matter how hard he knocked, there was no answer from inside. As soon as I heard, I knew something must have happened. So I acted decisively and broke the door down to get inside. The room was covered in spattered blood. Miss Sparkle's body was lying right in the middle, her face white as snow. One look told me she'd been dead for some time. Thinking quickly, I grabbed the artist's canvas to staunch Miss Sparkle's blood, but... alas, poor Miss Sparkle! She's left us now forever! Besides us and Zhongshan the butler, Lefton the cook and Wright the driver were also at the scene of the crime. What would you like to do?
Presumably, Miss Sparkle is now carefully arranging the next crime scene, right? Why don't you skip all this rigmarole and just have a heart-to-heart conversation with me? It might tickle a little.
Wait up! Wait up!
Honest kid. I know where you are, Miss Sparkle.
No cheating!
Huh. Mr. Assistant Detective. You seem to be getting anxious.
No, it's... This locked room murder case is pretty fun. I want to guess who it was.
Let's go. Can't keep a girl waiting, can we?
Hey, Miss Black Swan, wait up! Wait up! Miss Sparkle has one final message to announce. Ding-a-ling! Now comes the most exciting and romantic moment in any drama. The Audience Challenge. Everyone knows that the mighty masked fool Sparkle can change her appearance to look like others. And in this drama, the villain Sparkle has disguised herself as another character. So then, I put to you, which character is it? Also, if you're interested in the locked room case that the memo keeper ignored, you can try out your powers of deduction. I put lots into coming up with the puzzle, so don't let it go to waste. Thus, the masked genius Miss Sparkle has thrown down the gauntlet. All the clues are in motion. Happy hunting!
Miss, why didn't you just do this earlier?
Such a crude approach violates my aesthetics of memory. But as a means to an end, I need to put this aside for a more indifferent process.
There's no weird, sweet dreams troupe, nor is there evidence strewn all over the place. We finally caught up with her. But what's that thing? A Bella Boggian trash can? In Penacony?
Hey! Dear Memo Keeper and Mr. Coldfeet, you made it! I didn't expect you to skip the final puzzle. That's on me. Alright. Miss Sparkle cares not for the faults of ants like me. Come then, this is the final question. Listen up. What creature has 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs in the afternoon, and 3 legs at night?
No murder case this time around?
Sometimes it's nice to take things easy. Come on, dear, give me your answer then.
Since it's a classic puzzle, the answer is people, right?
Wah wah. Wrong answer. How could it be as boring as that? The correct answer is Sparkle. When sleepy in the morning, she can't get out of bed. She runs about all afternoon in a fluster, so is exhausted by evening, but has to still raise a hand to hold a toothbrush. Poor Sparkle. So naturally, she's got 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs in the afternoon, and 3 legs at night.
What the heck was that jibber-jabber?
What a cute answer.
Thanks for the compliment, my dear, but you can't try to fool me, seeing as you've just tried to cheat. Wrong answer. Accept your punishment.